be one nation under God. An alarming study by Pew Research found that Christianity could possibly become a minority religion in the United States as early as 2045. Look at these numbers. In the 1990s, 90% of adults identified as Christians. Then in 2007, it dropped to 78%. And most recently, only 64% say they are. Our nation's faith is diminishing at an alarming rate. The question is why? I believe we have only ourselves to blame. I often hear parents and grandparents say, I worked hard so that my kids would live better than I did and have what I didn't have. The World War II generation rightfully said we fought a world war so that our kids wouldn't have to, so their kids could live in peace and prosperity. Previous generations of Americans did a great job passing along peace, prosperity, leisure, entertainment, and progress in medicine, science, and technology. They passed those to their posterity. But along the way, previous generations passed along all of the wants of the world and not enough of the needs. They took for granted the main ingredient that underwrites all of those worldly advancements, and that's faith. Faith in something greater than ourselves. The belief that God is the architect of our good fortune and the bedrock of our blessings. Nothing else matters or even makes sense without a sincere reckoning with our Creator. It's the single most important thing I can teach my kids, and you, yours. Somewhere along the line, we stopped prioritizing Christianity in our homes and within our families. We took it for granted. I know I did for far too long, assuming that the faith of our forefathers would just self-perpetuate. So Christian schools shrunk. Church attendance plummeted. Prayer outright banned in public life. Christians allowed this to happen in exchange for convenient and godless public schools, vapid and decadent entertainment, and endless rabbit holes of social media. Instead of raising our kids to be Christians, learning and living according to the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, we outsourced our values to an increasingly godless culture, schools, and media. Here's what I know. Every time I enter church on Sunday, I know I need to be there. I'm reminded of my fallen, sinful nature. I reckon with the fact that human perfection is impossible, that I fall short and will always fall short. I am not perfectible, I am not enough, and I am not God. I need forgiveness, I need grace, and that only comes from Jesus Christ on the cross, dying for my sins and the sins of all mankind. His resurrection is my salvation and yours. Now you might ask, why does this matter? Faith is one thing, politics another. That's not true. And our founding fathers understood this. They built our system knowing two key things, among others. First, men are not angels. We are prone to power consolidation, to greed, and to pride. Always have been, always will be. Hence, they built a system of checks and balances, separation of powers, equal justice, and not a pure democracy. Instead, a constitutional republic predicated on the fact that our rights come from God, not from government. Second, our founders believed, and they said it time and time again, that the viability of our system relied on religious faith. Here's John Adams. He wrote, "Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of another." James Madison wrote that our Constitution requires, quote, "sufficient virtue among men for self-government. Otherwise, nothing less than the change of despotism can restrain them from destroying and devouring one another." What are we doing right now? They knew we needed virtuous citizens who, while not perfectible, sought their moral compass, their salvation, not from government, but from God. When we fail to pass these timeless truths, based in human nature, to the next generation, as this poll is revealing to us, we create future citizens who think government should be all-powerful, because government can create utopia on earth. Kids think man is perfectible if only government did more, redistributed more, controlled more, equalized more. Then we start to fall for schemes, like there are 100 genders, not 2. Let's do racism in the name of anti-racism. Imperfect founding fathers must be canceled, not studied. 1776 is outdated and racist. 1619 is our real founding. The Bible, old, outdated, and regressive, not the inspired word of God. Instead, we try to play God, and our search for heaven on earth unleashes human hell.
The Bible.